Fox News alert, the ongoing protests in Hong Kong are going on right now at one of the Hong Kong train stations. This is the Yung Long train station, the scene of an attack by suspected Triad gang members a month ago. The citizens of Hong Kong have been protesting, well, in favor of democracy, but specifically protesting China. China wanted to institute a policy that would allow suspects accused of criminal activity in Hong Kong to be taken to the mainland for trial. They don't like that idea, and they have been protesting ever since. It has morphed into more of a pro-democracy movement since then, and it has really riled the government of Xi Jinping, which has been putting armed troops in training facilities just across the border from Hong Kong. Very tense situation there. President Trump has remarked on it. Very tense situation there, and you can see that this scene today involving protesters wearing gas masks and so forth, they are expecting pretty severe backlash from the Chinese authorities.
And those umbrellas have come to signify resistance. The images that have been coming in now at this train station, prior to this, days ago, at the major international airport there with protesters and police in riot gear essentially shutting down all operations there. Charles Payne is joining us now live on set as we watch these live images unfold in Hong Kong. Charles, this is something you have been watching. The issues that have set these protests off are quite complex, but we have been following them, and obviously the part that America is playing as we watch all of this and what it means to us.
Well, certainly because we've seen the American flag and we've heard even the national anthems sung at several of these rallies. We're an inspiration. We're sort of a beacon, if you will, for these a lot of them young people who, you know, they're recoiling obviously this act by China, this extradition act. Just sort of China is revealing its hand, and they're worried. I mean, Hong Kong is an exemplary example of democracy, free trade, free markets, and now there's sort of this awakening that, if not now, eventually, China's going to be in control of all of it. And you know, the fact that they would, you know, violate the agreement that they had when the British handed over Hong Kong, essentially to this system, this two-tiered system, is a red flag for everyone.
Right. China was supposed to allow Hong Kong to continue to govern itself under the rules and the laws that had been in place at the time, but dragging somebody who is suspected of something, which could just be, you know, agitation against the Communist Party or something. I mean, you can understand why the people in Hong Kong are so repulsed by the idea that they'd be dragged over to Beijing or someplace like that to be tried. It certainly would not be a jury of their peers as we know it in this country.
Oh, absolutely not. But this is how President Xi Jinping actually rose to power. There was a massive power struggle. I think many people forgot about it going on about 10 years ago. Bo Xilai was his main rival, who wanted real free markets, a lot more in terms of a capitalistic Western-style government. Xi reverted back to the Maoist, you know, talking points. And so that includes the heavy hand of government that's building a surveillance system that already is amazing on what they can do. They've got social scores. So if you criticize the government on a commuter train, they may read your lips and you'd pay a heavy price for it. You probably couldn't get a bank loan. I mean, they are moving fast toward something Orwellian that obviously the people in Hong Kong are trying their best to resist.
All right. We're going to keep watching these live images on the screen here in Hong Kong as those protests continue. We will keep our eye on that. Meanwhile, Charles...